Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back for Two for Tuesday. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 5000 BC. The album. You are so beautiful to me. The beauty community. Okay, today we're gonna talk about Shane Dawson finally coming out and revealing what his series is all about. Or kind of, but people are speculating what it's about. There's a lot of chatter going on in the beauty guru chatter on Reddit. We're gonna talk about that today. I'm gonna read that to you. There's a lot of chatter going on everywhere. People have opinions. I've heard this, I've heard that, I've heard this. I'm kind of just waiting to see what the series is, you know, all this kind of stuff. So anyway, he put this up on, and I'm taking all of these receipts straight from Beauty Guru Chatter, so I will link it underneath here, but I saw it on his Twitter as well. They put up here, Shane Dawson reveals the title of his new series to be, quote, ugly side of the beauty world, end quote. And he tweeted this out, let's see, is there a date on this? There's no date on this, but this was, oh, yes there is, 6/30, 2019 at 1:21 p.m. He tweeted out, somebody said, not to be a nag, but when is your new series? Love ya. And he said, ugly side of the beauty world series in the fall and possibly something else in July. I wonder what that could be. Some stuff happened that threw a wrench in the conspiracy series, but I'll explain soon. But the series in the fall is a lot. So trust me, you'll be sick of me by the end of the year. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, so a lot of people underneath here were speculating. Well, what is it going to be, Shane? If it is the ugly side of the beauty world, what is it going to be all about? You know, is it going to be about gossip and drama channels? Is it going to be about people, snakes on the plane, and all these people saying they're friends and not saying they're friends? And I think that part of people's issue with this, going into it, is that Jeffree Star has very closely aligned himself with, Shane Dawson has very closely aligned himself with Jeffree Star. We know that. We see them, you know, all together filming. He's tweeted a lot out about Jeffree. He's filmed a lot with Jeffree. He's put pictures out with Jeffree. So we know that the two of them have gotten very, very close, right? I have to say something, okay? If you go back, and you guys know that I love Aunt Aphrodite, who is the psychic tarot card reader. He did this whole video on Shane Dawson, okay? And talked about Shane Dawson being betrayed by a long-term friend that he had. At the end of, I think he said, the end of this year or going into next year. But anyway, one of the things that he said in there that I thought was really interesting was that he would have an unlikely friendship with somebody that nobody would expect. And this has been like a psychic reading that he had actually done a while ago before all of this came out. And so now you look at that and you go, well, this unlikely friendship is obviously Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Like, that makes a lot of sense now if you believe in that kind of stuff, which of course I do. I believe in Santa Claus. So why not? The world, listen, this is not a dress rehearsal, okay? You might as well live with as much magic as you possibly can. So you know what that's about if you're watching my vlog and my Peterisms channel, of which I post daily. So anyway, so, you know, you wonder if it's going to be about the gossip and the background and all Dramageddon 2019, of which Shane was like in the middle of all of that for. Is this just going to be about that? You know, we all know that in the series that he did with Jeffree Star, there was this moment in the office when they were talking about how much money you can make, how you put a palette together, how you come up with all this kind of stuff. Shane seemed very interested. Ryland seemed just as interested. And then they came out and they said they were going to do another series. And Jeffree Star even came out and said there will be a Shane Dawson palette. Okay, so a lot of people at that point were speculating that the series was really just about Jeffree Star showing Shane Dawson how to do a palette, how to make a palette, and that Shane Dawson at the end of it was going to put out an Illuminati palette or something like that. Well, if that's the case, then what is the ugly side of the beauty world? Okay, like, is that just a clickbaity title, which Shane is not known for doing clickbaity titles? Is it just a clickbaity title and he's just going to show the process? Is he going to go in and show the marketing of it? Is he going to go in and show, like, you know, the gossip and things? Because here's the deal, right? That if you're in the beauty influencer drama community for a while, what you know is that there's YouTube drama channels like myself, and some of us know more than others, and I will be the first to admit that things have to be explained to me because I don't understand a lot about that. I'm not talking about how to put on eyeliner, okay? I'm talking about like components, ingredients, and all this background stuff, you know? But then there are people that are consumers and buy these products, but then there are people that are literally on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, all day long, and they are like watching this stuff, and they know probably, honest to God, just as much about the beauty world as any beauty influencer out there does, if not more in some cases. I mean, they know what ingredients to look for, they know batch codes, they understand all this stuff, and these are the people that have explained things to me when I don't understand things, and I'm extremely thankful to you guys out there because I'm the first one to admit when I don't know something, right? So if Shane goes into this like he's gonna prove something or show something that other people don't know, these people are going to come out of the woodwork and be like, what is this, like, you're not showing us we didn't already know. So I don't believe that Shane would do that because Shane is creative enough, and I've said that he was a creative genius in the past, and I believe that to be true about him, that he would really want to show something that none of us knew or had seen. So, I mean, he's not going to come out with a series showing us something that we already know, right? So he's going to come out with a series of things that we wouldn't expect to see. Well, then it makes you wonder. And I have to say, the other night driving around in my car, I was like, if he really did get these people together to concoct Dramageddon 2019, to prove the whole idea of the rumor mill, I mean, like, I would not rule it out at this point, okay? I was thinking back, honestly, about right before all this stuff unfolded, that Shane went over and he hung out with Toddy. Okay, and was over there, and she was showing him stuff, and he had put it on Instagram and Snapchat, and I think I made a video about it, right? Like, Shane is very charming, and like, he's very smart. We know that. He's very intelligent. To sit down with Toddy, we don't really know what that meeting was about, you know, except for maybe she was just teaching him how to do makeup or whatever. He was getting to know other people in the makeup community because he's made that, you know, relevant, or he's made that, you know, obvious that he's done that as well. And he shouted out some people just yesterday, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But, you know, it makes you wonder now when you look back on all of this that happened, like, what is his involvement in all of that? I really don't think he had anything to do with all of it that went down. Like, I just don't see Shane as the person in the background being like, well, you should do this or you should do that, right? I think he probably stayed out of all that. Unless this really is the series. And I've said this before on here, you know, like, it would be interesting if Shane came out with a series really exposing like how this all goes down and how people work against each other and what people believe, but just by it being fed to us, you know. But in the same stance, if that were the case, I don't, like, that's almost to me like, there's a lot of people that have been really, really invested in this and in these people, that's like almost kind of a social experiment that's taken too far, in all honesty. Unless you are just so invested in the outcome of the social experiment and not so much about, you know, offending other people. And I don't believe that Shane would do that either. Like, I think at the end of the day, he's an entertainer, but he's also just really interested in all of this kind of stuff. So then it makes you wonder, well, what really is this? What really is it? And, you know, I think personally it's going to be these people walking Shane through the process of coming up with his own product and the obstacles that he faces and coming out along the way. I really think that's what it's going to be. So he put this out and said, ugly side of the beauty world series in the fall and possibly something else in July. Some stuff happened that threw a wrench in the conspiracy series, but I'll explain soon. But the series in the fall is a lot, so trust me, you'll be sick of me by the end of the year. Ha 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 ha. And underneath here, people had a lot to say. Somebody said, I have a feeling this won't go over well with the community. And somebody else said, how much more Dramageddon can we take this year? I'm getting worn out. Somebody else said, exactly, if this keeps up at this pace until the end of the year, I can't take it. Somebody else said, all this crap is actually making me lose interest in makeup. Part of what I like is the artistic expression and community. Lately, it's all just the top beauty gurus at each other's throats. Somebody else said, I've stopped watching beauty YouTube, not worth it anymore, unfortunately. Somebody else said, this sums up my feelings exactly. And then somebody else said, honestly, yeah, I used to have a huge interest and desire to become a beauty guru and influencer because to me, it looked like the perfect job. A lot of hard work, but worth it. Ever since I've taken a closer look at everyone and just seen the absolute worst and seen Dramageddon 1 and 2, I'd rather just climb the corporate ladder side of the beauty industry and be well respected behind the scenes. And, you know, I think all of that is really honest and true and really sad commentary on how all this has gone down over the last 2 years. And for that reason, I do not believe that this will be a series of Shane stirring things up. if he ever wants to be respected in the beauty industry or the beauty community, that would be a really wrong move for him to do. Even if he's just showing it, he has inserted himself into the middle of it too much now with his friendship with Jeffree Star, that people that are sitting on the outside looking in, listen, you cannot get close to Jeffree Star without somebody calling you biased. So people are already going to say that going into this series with him. If he were to stir some things up, which I don't believe he's going to do, if he were to do that, it would be a really bad look for Shane. And I do think that Shane cares a lot about what people think about him. And I don't think that he's wanting to do that. I think that he, the thing that's always really interesting to me about all of this, right, is somebody that has like watched documentaries for a very, very long time, studied film when I was in college, studied documentaries and things like that, is that there's kind of two sides to how you do a documentary, and most of it is that you are really objective and you're on the outside looking in, so you really are never part of the documentary series or the documentary film itself. The other side is that you immerse yourself into the middle of it and then you share your experience. Those are two different sides of documentaries, and I didn't really understand the second side until recently. And, it has to be that that's what Shane is going to do. So is this series going to be about my experience, Shane Dawson's experience with the beauty world and what I've encountered along the way? Because the thing is, he'd have to be very, very careful, right? We all know this within beauty industry. If you follow it at all, I mean, I'm not like by any means in the beauty industry, but we even though like, oh my Lord, I made it on the Beauty Guru chatter. I couldn't believe it. But, the thing is that like, we all know this, like who's up today could be down tomorrow. I mean, in all honesty, and I know people do not believe this, in 6 months from now, Jeffree Star could be done. And it could be, who knows, the next person at the top. So it's very careful. You have to be very careful who you cross within the beauty industry, because you don't know. I think that's why a lot of people completely stay out of the way. Like, some of the people that are really, really successful that we never talk about, like Chloe Morello, she stays out of all of it. You know what I mean? And I think that it's decisive on their part that they're like, I'm not going to get involved in this. So if he's wanting to stay in the beauty world for longer, which he says in a second, I'll explain to you when I read a tweet, that he has really gotten a lot out of this, I don't think he's going to want to step on a lot of feet. I just don't think that that's what he wants to do. And somebody else says, yeah, I have a feeling this could end up pretty bad for Shane. If he ends up telling everything from Jeffree's point of view, of course, there will be the blind stands that eat it all up. But I could also see other powerful beauty YouTubers come out and say how one-sided it is. At least I hope they do. I know most people are hesitant to speak out against Jeffree. Somebody said, I would hope some big YouTubers will come out against it, but I doubt it. Jeffree will definitely pay and threaten people to keep their mouth shut. I don't know. After seeing how tight the relationship is, it will most likely be one-sided. And then it says, Shane's shown time and time again that he can be biased and easily manipulated, so I don't have high hopes. The thing is, Shane is not stupid. So Shane's going to know that any series that he puts out there for people to take it seriously, he's going to have to be unbiased, even towards Jeffree Star, or people are going to eat him up. So, or eat him alive, or whatever the saying is. So I think he would know that going into it, so if that series comes out, I would be really surprised, Then somebody said, considering Jeffree Star is potentially financing it, I don't believe that he's financing it. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a big bombshell that no one but smaller communities like this sub will catch on Jeffree Star manipulating the narrative. Somebody else said, that's exactly what I was thinking as I talk to my normal friends and husband and what they see. I'm realizing everyone else I don't know from this sub see a carefully constructed narrative that Jeffree Star has planned all along. I'd love to, LOL, but that's too sad. And then it goes in, it's talking about Jeffree Star's manipulation. This is Jeffree getting Shane to do his dirty work. And you have to understand that on the Beauty Guru chatter or any gossip site whatsoever, I mean, they really come hardcore for Jeffree Star. Rightfully so, unrightfully so, I don't know. You tell me, right? But I do think that if you're going to do, there are hundreds and thousands of beauty influencers out there, right? So you don't want to just focus your attention on Jeffree Star if you're going to make a video about that, And the thing that would be interesting to me, if I was Shane Dawson, is that Jeffree Star and James Charles are neck and neck, right, side by side. So if he does a whole thing with this beauty influencer community and James Charles is nowhere in there when he's getting advice and stuff from Toddy and Jeffree, where's James in that? When James has more subscribers than Jeffree Star does, and he's a phenomenon in itself, whether you like him or not, I'm just saying, okay? If you're gonna do an overall look at the beauty influencer world, that's where it makes me think that it is not an overall look at the beauty world, that it's more about the process of what happens in putting this together and the obstacles that he faces, because then it really wouldn't matter who he went to, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that wouldn't know that process, but Jeffree Star does know that process. So then if you go up here, from 23 hours ago, they put Shane Dawson elaborates on his ugly side of the beauty world series, also mentions a few of his favorite micro beauty influencers. And somebody said, hey Shane Dawson, I hope that for your new series you contact micro beauty influencers for the perspective on the community too, not just the larger ones. We have very different views, and for your series to be accurate, it shouldn't be one-sided. And he responded and said, totally, it's definitely not all about the influencer stuff really, more about the production of makeup and the corporate stuff. So there we have an answer to that. But I'm definitely going to dive into the YouTube world stuff too. It's all been very mind-opening, haha. And then he says, anything you do is, somebody says, anything you do is awesome and you're trying, that's all that matters. And he says, thank you, I promise. It's not just a series. Okay, wait. This is the tweet that they talk about in here I want to get to. And then somebody says, I have been saying all along that I think a series is going to be about the collaboration process, and after the series comes out, its collab will drop. I think they may touch gently on the drama, but I feel like it's going to be more about the making of. And I definitely 100% agree with that. People going here and they're agreeing on it. Am I crazy? But didn't he allude to this from the beginning? He did allude to this from the beginning. And this is what's surprising to me is that people, and I don't know, this is the thing, is that Shane is brilliant at marketing, right? So he teases stuff out there. I mean, he'll put a 1-minute teaser together that gets millions of views because people are like, oh my God, right? So he's brilliant at marketing. So for him to call, for him to call it the, ugly side of the beauty world or whatever, and then be it about the process and the obstacles and all that kind of stuff and really what goes on behind the scenes and all that, it could possibly show the ugly side of the beauty world as well and have some other things in there that we probably don't expect that he has ran into along the way that we would never think about being in that series, And so, yeah, he has kind of talked about that from the beginning. Update from yesterday's post. Shane Dawson responds to his tweet elaborating what his new series, Ugly Side of the Beauty World, will be about. He explains that the series will focus more on the production side of the beauty world than the influencer drama after being asked to make sure he includes the opinions of micro-influencers to make the series fair. And then he put this tweet out. Hold on a second. And he said, somebody said to him, anything you do is awesome and you're trying to, that's all that matters. And he responded, thank you. I promise it's not a series to SHI. A quarter on the cuss star, Shane. On anyone, makeup has given me such a creative outlet and really helped me my anxiety. I would never SHI on anything, something that has helped me so much, and I love watching beauty channels of all sizes. And then Shane Dawson responds and says, some of my faves, and he shouts out Smoky Glow, Kara C, Raw Beauty Christie, and Kathleen Lights. But Kathleen Lights is not small, and neither is Raw Beauty Christie. She just passed 700,000 subscribers. And I believe in one of my previous videos, I said that I was psychic of the world. In my psychic video, I said she would pass 1 million subscribers this year. It looks like that possibly is going to be true. And I also said that a shout out from Shane Dawson wouldn't hurt that. So anyway, it's going to be real interesting to see what the series is about. What do you guys think it's going to be about? Are you going to watch it? It's interesting when you go underneath here and you read and you see some true Shane fans that are like, I have no interest in this series, but I'll still watch it, or I have no interest in this series, but I won't watch it. There are so many different varying opinions. I, of course, will be watching it right now. I do believe that he's going to get several different sides of, people's different, it's not going to just be about Jeffree Star. I think there's going to be a lot of clips of a lot of different people in there, It would be very, very similar if he was going to do, a series about the drama community, right? And that he was just going to ask, 2 or 3 people that, all were just doing the same thing always, right? And he wasn't asking Keemstar from Drama or Philip DeFranco or a smaller drama channel or a meme channel or whatever, You would have to get one of each different kind of thing to show, overall what that's like, because you would want to give a fair representation of what the community looked like at large, just like the beauty influencer community. So I think he is going to do that, but I really think also the thing is that Shane probably very quickly, he's tweeted out some things about, okay, this is getting kind of, ugly. I think that he probably found out very, very quickly. I might not want to go down this road because that could be a lot of trouble that I'm not expecting. So I think he probably will stay he'll stay far away from a lot of the gossip and things like that. But I think some of it will be in there. I do. I think that that is part of the beauty industry, and I think that's part of why people love to watch the videos and find out what's going on, and love to watch the, you know, the friendships even, you know. It's sad because when I started following all of this, it was kind of like, you know, it was like a reality show on YouTube, and you would see each, you know, all the beauty influencers like kind of like be at somebody's house or playing games. I remember when they were all playing games that one night, you know, or going on trips together and stuff like that. And it's not so much that anymore. And it's really, you know, sad what's happened as a result of all of this stuff. And I think people are getting more isolated in their missions. I would love to think at some point that Shane Dawson could bring all these people together. I think he's too immersed in the whole situation that he's probably not the right person for it. But I wish somebody could. You know, it's sad to me that this, I've said this from the very beginning. I mean, the ugly side of the beauty community or the beauty world to me is that these people that are role models to make us feel beautiful on the outside are not demonstrating the most beautiful behavior on the inside or to each other. And I think a lot of people, as, you know, evidenced by what we just saw, you know, in the thread, are like not even wanting to watch beauty influencers anymore, or don't have the dream to be a beauty influencer anymore because that's what they see this is, you know, and that's sad to me. And I think that we have to get back to, you know, this area of, you know, just enjoying makeup again and enjoying the tutorials and the process. And I think that for a while, you know, what happened was that a lot of people thought, you know, tutorials are boring, reviews are boring, whatever. And that's originally what a lot of people got really interested in the makeup community for to begin with, right? To watch somebody like, you know, do a review or an unboxing of something they had just bought to see if they wanted to purchase it. But as these people get bigger and bigger and bigger, it's like they have to come up with more creative content and more creative content, and they have to reinvent the wheel. We can only reinvent the wheel so much, right? You know, if Jeffree Star and he still does, you know, reviews of products and things like that, but if James Charles or any of these people sat down and they didn't, you know, did a realistic tutorial of like, you know, I don't know, how to go to a job interview, like that video, although is not the most exciting video in the world, is what people originally started watching these channels for. Or how to try something that they had never been able to see. You know, a makeup look that was so out there and different that they didn't know to use these makeup, you know, tools and, you know, pieces in this way. And I wish that we could get back to that excitement and that creativity and that fun that people found in the beauty influencer community again. And I do think it's going to be smaller creators coming up on the rise. And that's why I have shouted out some of the people that I really, really like Christy, because I do believe that she is, you know, she's an intelligent and a unique voice within the beauty influencer community. At least that I've seen. And there are a lot of people that are on the rise that have unique voices as well. And I think we're just going to find more and more of them as, you know, we go. I will say this, and I say this in all the videos where I talk about smaller creators. Feel free to list some of your favorite smaller creators in my comment section below. Even if it's yourself, even if you say, hey, come over to my channel, I just started, I am completely fine with that, okay? And I think that's something that we've gotten away from on YouTube, is shouting each other out and like helping each other in the comment sections. Like, you know, that's so frowned upon. Shout yourself out in my comment section. I really don't care. You know, maybe I'll find you. Maybe I'll shout you out in the next video if I see you. So anyway, I think that we, you know, need to help one another out grow, so it's not just always the same 5 or 6 people like I've said in the past. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.